Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I am a transgender woman, and I talk about all things horror. And today I'm tackling the Doom film based on the video game from the early 90s, the DOS game we're all familiar with. Doom is basically a Resident Evil knockoff, but it's more than that. It's a sci-fi movie where they open a door to a place they shouldn't go and they unleash monsters. And that's basically it. It's space marines shooting space aliens. As far as the horror elements of this movie goes, this is one of those, quote, sci-fi horror movies that I hesitate to even call horror, and I almost didn't even want to talk about it because this movie sucks. This movie's rubbish. This movie's dumb. And there's literally nothing at all to enjoy about this movie. But I do like Doom, the video game, the franchise. In fact, I like several games from the franchise, but especially the first one, the iconic one. You know, it's a classic. So I did watch this one more than once. And this is where I'm going to, as a horror collector, state that I do have this in my collection personally, even though I'm recommending it as a rent, not a buy. Let me explain. I'm a gamer. I'm an old school gamer. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So I grew up in the days where video games were primitive. My first game console was an Atari 2600 clone. So I grew up with games like Pitfall and Haunted House and the Atari Pac-Man, which is the worst Pac-Man home version out there. And other games that even if I said their names, you'd think I was making them up because nobody remembers them. And so I collect movies that are based on video games. For that reason alone, I have Doom in my collection because I collect movies based on video games. Even if it totally sucks and has no redeeming values, if they ever made a movie, if they ever did get around to making that movie based on Joust, like the creator of Joust wants them to do, I'll buy it. Even if it sucks. So with Doom, I do not recommend it. This is a rent unless, like I said, unless you're going for a video game. Movies based on video games collection, which if you are, you're going to end up with a lot of rubbish in your collection. Which there's movies we don't even talk about. Not on this channel anyways. I can't even really describe the movie, and the reason why I can't really describe it is because I've seen it twice. And it isn't so much, I can't really make sense out of it. It's hard to follow because I really don't know what's going on. But also, it's very forgettable and it doesn't stick in my head. So I can't really tell you what it's about because I can't fucking remember. I remember not liking it both times I watched it. And I remember being totally fucking lost both times I watched it. So I do not recommend this movie at all.